Disruption Networks.
There it is, brother. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to EC Radio. Hi, you can follow along on all Disruption Network social media platforms. Fritz and I are talking. I need a new theme song. I need a new intro. That old intro is so dated. I think what I need to do is just go cold with it and skip the intro. But if there's any musicians out there, hint, 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 since I know you all in Central New York, you should write me a theme song. I think you should. I'm putting that on all you people from Central New York, and the best theme song will win a prize. I don't know what that prize is, but we're going to give them a prize of something. I got to give a shout-out to EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit up Eddie and his staff at 315-335-0516. Let them do all the work instead of you doing your work when it's time to move and relocate. They're a great staff, very reputable service. They're polite. They say ma'am and sir. They wear back braces. They wear masks. They're just awesome people. EJAmoving.com is where you can find them on the World Wide Web. 315-864-3527. That is your number to a gateway to a great meal this week over at Joey's at 307. They got delicious seafood meals. They got dinner menus. They got a catering. They do a bunch of great stuff. Matt Grabsky's a genius when it comes to the kitchen. He really is. He's a culinary genius. Give them a call today, 315-864-3527. Get yourself a table over there because they're super busy. They've been really, really busy. The reservations have been filling up, and it's been hard to get a table over there. So tell them Uncle Z sent you. Shout out to Utica Coffee. Big ups to my attorney, Dave Longaretta, for keeping me out of trouble for so long. 315-735-6162 if you need some legal advice. Billy, the liquor guy, has a book out called Under Too Long. It's a book about infiltrating biker gangs and untaxed alcohol and cigarettes and a bunch of different things, buying bombs and drugs and about all the agents that brought all that stuff down. So check it out. Under Too Long. You can get it on Amazon or pretty much wherever you buy your books. And shout out to Ballsy.com. Promo code members only. Get yourself a 15% discount for men hygiene products. Fritz, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Good
How's
to see
things?
You. Good. Doing good, actually.
You're busy, man.
Yeah, you know, things are shaping up to be pretty busy. We'll have over, if we don't get more cancellations, we'll have over 60 gigs this year.
That's awesome.
You know, it's not bad considering 3 of the 4 of us work full time.
Yeah. And last time you were here, you're kind of struggling for a gig.
Yeah, last year. I mean, weird thing. And then as it turned out, because I was here in August again, as it turned out, we did 3 gigs before COVID last year and 17 after. Mm-hmm. You know, we ended up having a busy Oktoberfest season.
Oh, great.
The way it shook out for September and October, we were pretty busy for like 6 weeks. The weekends, you know, we went out and did stuff, and we were in Jersey, Long Island. And so it ended up being okay. You know, I figure, hey, at that point, you know, whatever you get is good. Because, you know, you're just lucky to get the ones you had.
And who better to play an Oktoberfest than you?
Well, I like to think that.
Well, you've got, 30-plus years under your belt of playing Oktoberfest, you know? So I think you're well-seasoned, my friend.
Yeah, we got some years of experience.
Yeah, you do.
Man.
And that years of experience has brought you to this new album that has pretty much hit. Is it hitting out there?
Yeah, it's going to be.
Okay,
it's being manufactured right now.
Gotcha.
You know, there's a few delays and stuff, but it is being manufactured. I'm excited about it. I really had hoped I was going to have it give to you before we got together, but it is exciting because originally it was supposed to be part of when we did our album Hey a couple years ago. It was going to be a double album. It's going to be a double album to commemorate our 40th anniversary.
Wow.
The title was going to be XL, which is extra large because there was going to be 24 songs, and also it's the Roman numeral for 40.
Yeah.
I had this vision in my head. That's what it was going to be. But then like all the special guests I wanted, I couldn't get, their schedule. It didn't work out schedule-wise. So I was able to get one special guest I really wanted, which was Todd Kearns, the Slash's band, which was fabulous. And so I got talking with Ron Keck at Subcat, and he's like, wow, why don't you release one now and hold the other disc for whenever you can get your special guests together? I'm like, geez, that's a good idea. I'll do that. So that's what we did. I didn't think there'd be that big of a gap in between the two, but when you're getting special guests, especially if it's people you really want, it's like, well, you got to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Or don't wait, but then you're not going to get them on there.
Did you make a wish list?
Yeah, in my head.
And how many people on that wish list came to fruition?
All but one.
All but one. And who's that one that didn't?
Neil Sean of Journey.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good stretch, right?
But he was cool.
He was.
I mean, we emailed back and forth.
Uh-huh.
We emailed back and forth, and and that was okay. There was no like, oh man, I can't stand a guy because he wouldn't do it. No, not at all.
Not this polka guy.
You know what I mean? He was really cool.
Uh-huh.
He was cool. He was inspiring. So it's like, you know what? That's okay. Because the guests I was able to get, I'm tickled.
Yeah,
I'm really tickled.
Well, you did get his bandmate involved in your project.
Oh, yeah.
Dean Castronova.
Yeah, and I had asked Dean. Here's a funny story, because when I went to Nashville a couple months ago to hang with Dean and his new band, after I went to that, I went to a polka event out in Ohio in May, and I was talking with one of my friends there, Bob, and he's like, man, you got a relationship with Dean. You ought to get him on your next CD, man. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Little did he know it. I already had Dean recorded, you know what I mean? So I kept that to myself because, I was just trying to keep everything under wraps.
Yeah.
But when I asked Dean about it, he's like, and I don't know if you know Dean or not, but
no,
Dean's like a high-energy guy, just loves life. And if you're his buddy, man, you're his buddy. You know what I mean? He's like, and I ran it by him, and he goes, yeah, I'll do it, brother. I'll do it for you, brother. And I'm like, all right, man. And then just had to wait for when his schedule, because at the time he was still with the Dead Daisies, and had to wait for his schedule to work out and everything. And then once it did, I sent the songs to him, and I didn't know it was going to be one. I'm like, I don't know. I go, I'll just send both, and if he wants to pick, and he wanted to do both songs.
Oh, cool.
So I was like, cool. So he went and did that for me. And his voice is just, that guy harmonizes so awesome. And I told him, too, the story, especially, the story about both songs are kind of unique, because the one song, The Hands of Time, that's a real personal song, because that's when my dad started. And I didn't even know about it until it was a few weeks before he passed away, when he opens his wallet up, and he knew he was dying from cancer. So I'm at his house. I can still see this clear as day, and he opens his wallet up and he hands me this paper. He goes, here's a song. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to finish this one. You're going to have to finish this. I was like, oof. That was heavy.
Yeah, I bet.
I was like, holy smokes, and it was, let's see, if I could only turn back the hands of time, what a great time we would have once more. I said, like a lump in my throat. I was like, I don't even remember exactly what I said, but something like, I'll try. I'm sure that's kind of what I said, the gist of it, And then after he passed away, and I carried around my wallet for a while, and then I was like, I couldn't think of nothing. And at that point, prior to him passing away, I wrote many songs every year, multiple. And he passed away, and everything shut off. It's like you threw a switch.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything.
Writer's block.
Yep. And so then I finally put it like in my office at home. I put it up next to my computer because I thought, man, if I see that every time I get to my computer, someday it's going to spark a memory or spark an idea or whatever it might be. It's going to lead to a song. Nope, it sat there for years. And then when we were going to go in the studio to do these, well, what ended up being both recordings, but because we recorded them all at the same time. But I was like, man, I ought to finish that song. I was thinking of ideas. I said, oh, fuck, turn back the hands of time. What a great time we'd have once more. I'm thinking, man, what could that go with?
So he just had the hook, your dad.
He just had
those
that
two lines.
opening line. And I'm like, no matter what, I'm not changing those lines.
Okay.
I'll have to adjust whatever up here to make it work because those lines are staying as he wrote them. So funny thing is, a few years prior, I go out and do solo gigs sometimes. I do a lot of times I go to nursing homes and play. And some nights I just start tooling around and play, kind of make a song up on the spot that never ends up being a song. You just do something and they're appreciative. So I did that. And actually in my mind, I'm like, man, this sounds kind of cool. And then the next time I went to a nursing home, I did that same thing. So I kept doing that so I'd remember. Then I put it on cassette. I think it was cassette. Maybe it was cell phone by then. I don't know. Because we used to always record songs on cassette when we were writing. So I did that so I wouldn't forget it. And then come to find out, then I'm trying to put this song together for my dad and I, and his opening line matched almost that melody exact.
Wow.
I just had to alter, I think, 1 or 2 notes.
And
So
what
I'm
was
like-
the time difference? For how many years have passed since?
Since I wrote that song, I think I finished it in 2018.
20, yeah, so it's
So and he passed away in 2009.
Wow.
So it sat,
Yeah, it sat
that
for a
song
while.
sat. And I'd actually written, I'd started writing some other songs after he passed away, which I'll get to. But that particular song, it took not quite 9 years. So I'm like, well, at least I know I got a melody now. So I'm thinking, well, then I started working on the lyrics. So then the way it panned out was, there's the first verse and it uses the word I, like, but oh, how I miss you since the night I've been gone. That's written from what I would perceive as my dad's perspective. He's missing me. He's missing my stepmom, my family, my sisters, my band, his friends, whatever. So, oh, how I miss you since the night I've been gone. That verse is written from his perspective. And then when we do the second verse, and I say, oh, how I miss you since the night you've been gone. Now it's from my perspective. So that's how the song was. And we did it that way. We recorded it. And, and after you record, when you go to the studio and you record, and you're always listening back, okay, there's a mistake here. You're trying to really critique.
Yeah.
And Gabe, my bass player brother-in-law, he called me one night. He goes, hey, I got to ask you something. On that song, The Hands of Time? I'm like, yeah. And this was early on, like after we recorded. He goes, the one time through you're saying, like, oh, I miss you since the night I've been gone. But then you sing, you've been gone. Did you misspeak and meant they should be the same? I go, no. And I explained, just like I did to you. And he just got like a lump in his throat. He's like, wow, that's a great perspective. So that song is very personal. And I asked Dean, I thought, man, if he'd sing on that. And I told him the story. And he's like, oh, I'd be honored, brother. So, and I just gave him creative license, harmonize where you want. And that's what he did. And then on the song Brothers, that's actually evolved from a poem. When my friend Rick, who drummed for my band for years, okay, and the only reason he's still not, because he moved to Ohio and he's got a very successful business. He's a mechanical engineer. He's got his own business. He goes all around the world.
And he was with you for years.
Yeah. 24 years initially. You know what I mean? He drummed with us last year. We didn't have a lot of gigs, and he was able to make it work. But the way our schedule is and stuff now, during the week, he can't be giving up big projects of that stuff that he's doing because he loves to play. He's still got the bug. He wants to play whenever he can, but it's just, the way it works out, it's tough. But so anyhow, him and my friend Ron, who was my neighbor for years and who's now, he's a cop down in Oklahoma. And by the way, he's a Royal Knight number 30, which is, I think there's only like 31 in the United States. It's just a steep, esteemed level for law enforcement because you've got to reach certain benchmarks to attain this.
Wow.
I mean, one of them's rescuing a kidnap victim. He did that. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger. He said when you talk about a reward, when you make that call to a mother and you say, hey, I got your daughter, he goes, can't beat it. So he's a great friend. Rick is. We've known each other for, coming up on 50 years probably, and so I wrote a song about them, brothers. But what didn't start out as a song, it started out as a poem. Because when Rick got married, he was going to get up and say something, So I put a little poem together, partially, and that's what I read. And I just kept it for years. I thought, maybe someday I'd make a song out of that. And then I've always liked Bon Jovi, and Blood on Blood's like my favorite Bon Jovi song. I love that song. And in that, he tells about
his childhood
me
friends,
and Danny and Bobby.
Yeah.
We cut each other's hands. We held out to a promise. Only brothers understand. And all that. That song I love. And it's I was like, wow, man, he had them, and I got Rick and Ronnie. You know what I mean? And I thought, man, a little inspiration there. And I'm not comparing the songs, believe me, I'm not. But that, my mindset, inspiration, what I like. I love that 80s rock, and that's one of my favorites. So then I finished the song eventually. And then what you hear on the what's going to be on the CD is, the finished version of the song. And Dean sang on that. And funny thing is, when I went and saw him in Nashville, mind you, me, my buddy Matt, who's friends with him, he's a cop in New York, and he's a drummer too in Bon Journey. If you ever get a chance to check those guys out.
Bon Journey.
They play the Bon Jovi hits and the Journey hits.
Yeah.
right?
Is Tim Moyer their lead singer?
No.
He's out there
you know
watching.
what? Tim could be. I tell you this, though, with the level Tim's got, he could sing for anybody.
Yeah, he could.
You know, he's a solid performer. You know, he can sing whatever.
Absolutely.
You know, and there's not a lot of people that can do that.
And he's calling you the man right now. He's saying Fritz is the man.
Hey, I appreciate it, but I have so much respect for him. Look how long Gridley Page has been around.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. So Tim could sing for anybody. But so these guys, you know, and Matt's good friends with Dean. In fact, he's got Dean's snare from, I think, the 2012 tour that he uses with his kit. And if you listen to him, you'd be like, oh, that's Dean drumming. No, it's Matt. Matt is inspired by Dean, and he's just flashy, you know, dead on with everything. So we met up in Nashville, and another buddy, Leonard from Michigan, us guys hung out together. We got invited to the band's rehearsal. And we were the only outsiders there other than their family and, like, you know, drum techs and stuff like that. So we walk into this rehearsal, and the band's rehearsing. There's Jay DeMarcus from Rascal Flatts. Okay, he's playing keyboards and singing. Jason Sheff, formerly Chicago, playing bass. And then Chris Rodriguez playing guitar, who also played for, like, Kenny Loggins. You know, he's a session player, too. And then Tom Yankton, who was a guitarist for Rascal Flatts. This is their band, and they're rehearsing. I was like, oh, my God, these guys are good. So we're just hanging out, listening to them, like, loving it. And then they take a little break. Dean comes over, hey, what's up, brother? And he belts, instead of like brothers, his son, Kyle, plays in a metal band, like similar to Slipknot. Okay? And Dean likes that stuff. Also, he goes, we were like brothers all throughout the years. Shared some smiles. He's singing like Slip. It's like, Dean, right in front of these guys. You know, he gives me a big hug. You know, it's like, oh my God. I still got a recording he sent me one day randomly. He sends me a text of him doing this like speed metal version of that lyrics. And I was like, I guess he likes the song.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? So he's on Brothers. And then Derek Shrinahan plays keyboard, Hammond organ, and synthesizer on Brothers.
You've had a relationship with him for a little while, right?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I don't know Derek like I know the other guys.
Right, like Dean is a boy, one of your bros.
Yeah, Dean is, you know. And Dean went through some crap and stuck with him, you know, and he never forgot that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I told him years ago, I don't know how many years ago, we talked about, his redemption, brother. I go, things are getting better, going to get better, boom, 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 boom. And the first thing, he's back with Journey. You know, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really awesome, you know, to see that. I'm so happy for him.
But what's that call like to Derek when you reach out to him?
I just
really receptive right off the bat, or did you have to
I didn't have
some
to,
strings?
No, because he had this thing about, hey, I'll play on your, you know, send me your unsigned tracks and unreleased tracks, and I'll play on there for you, and I'll send you a sample, and then if you like it, then we can talk more. Okay, so I reached out to him, and he's like, wow, I don't think I ever did a polka. And I go, well, it's not a polka. He goes, well, what style is? I go, I don't really know. I go, it's not a polka song. It's not a polka beat. It's a little different. Wow, I'm intrigued. Well, send me what you got, you know. So I did. And we went back and forth a little bit more. And then one day I'm in Walmart with my daughter, one of my daughters, Marissa. And, you know, all of a sudden he's like, hey, I'm in the studio now. Produce me, man. What do you want me to do? I got this. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, you know, dude, I like you for what you do. Do what you think fits. Pretty simple, right? I want to give people creative license, kind of, because that's why you reach out to them for what they do.
That's an open canvas.
Yeah. And a guy like that, you know, his talent level is just sick.
Yeah.
And
does he give you a couple ideas, or is it just one basic idea and throws it at you, or does he give you a couple samples?
It all kind of came back at once. All of a sudden, he sent me something, and I'm in the store, and I literally stopped. I go, Marissa, listen to this. And it was like probably 30 seconds. It was a synthesizer solo. I was like, oh, my God. Now you know why they call him the Eddie Van Halen keyboard.
Uh-huh.
I was like, it almost sounded like electric guitar, you know? I'm like,
That's what I thought it was an electric guitar.
and here's the other
on
thing.
that, was it that on Brothers?
Brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was an electric guitar. Remember I texted you back?
Yeah. You
Fritz had
texted
sent me a couple samples.
You're not the only one.
And I was like, who's playing guitar? Because I thought it was who we're going to talk about in a minute.
Right.
I thought it was Bonamassa.
Yeah.
We'll get to Bonamassa in a second.
Yeah.
But that's how I was like, is this Joey B ripping it? He goes, no, it's Derek.
Yeah,
and I was
Derek.
like, that doesn't even sound like a keyboard.
That's crazy. Well, and I let Rick actually listen to the song a couple weeks ago. He come in, he did do a few gigs with us. And I go, here, I want you to hear something. And he's like, wow. And he's listening. And he's like, man, who did those guitar solos? I go, it's not a guitar.
It's not a guitar.
He goes, no, you're kidding me. I'm like, no, I'm not. And I told him, he's like, oh my God, the guy that played with Dream Theater, Sons of Apollo, and all this.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, yeah. He's like,
didn't he play with Bonamassa in
Black Country Communion? And he actually did with he was in Bonamassa's regular band too.
Yeah.
He did stuff.
That's right.
Black Country Communion is one of my favorites still. You listen to their Live Over Europe album, that's just sick. Personally, not to go all over the place, but I tend to.
So do I.
Jason Bonham, I think that's the best band for him to drum in.
I agree.
His drumming is so
it's got that
crazy
vintage sound, right? That vintage 70s classic
I like
sound.
what he does with the Circle with Sammy.
Of course.
But I just think the Black Country Communion thing is
badass.
Man, and when they cover Burn, I think they beat Deep Purple. And I know I'm going to offend some people. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. Because that's what I think. That version is just crazy from Live Over Europe. Oh,
so
my God.
badass.
Bonamassa shreds on it. Glenn Hughes with that bass. He's just nuts.
Yeah.
And
he hasn't missed a beat either. How old is Glenn Hughes now? He's got to be almost 70 years old.
I bet you
And he can still hit those notes like nothing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. What the two albums, they do 2 or 3 albums.
No, they did 4.
Did they do 4 albums?
And the live one.
Uh-huh.
But
that's so badass.
Live Over Europe, I love.
Yeah.
I listen to that. It's one of my road trip albums. I listen to that a lot. But so yeah, Derek, when he sent me that sample, I was like, oh my God, Marissa, what do you think of this? She's like, wow. And mind you, it's not mixed at that point. It's what he's playing. It's not mixed or anything. I was like, man, it sounds that good. Oof. And then so fast forward to now when he's done doing stuff, get the stuff from, and he's like, oh, I played the hand. He goes, I think I hear a piano. Oh, before he finished everything, he goes, I think I hear a piano in that song. I'm like, have at it, man. So when I got everything in, sure enough, you hear there's a piano in there, doing stuff, kind of in the background. Then the Hammond organ, he goes, I played the upper register and the lower register. So you have this nice chords in the background, making a nice sound, and then the synthesizer. That's just, I love the way that turns.
That's got to make you feel good, though, that he actually played around with it and experimented. He was like a mad scientist.
And that's the thing with these guys is they're so talented, but the effort they put forth, even like when Todd did the last album, he put a lot of effort into it. Because you don't know. And so, hey, little Fritz here. I'll do a track for you. Boom. No, everybody put effort in.
Right.
Like when Todd sent me a whole bunch of tracks. Todd did upstrokes, downstrokes. He did lead work. He did harmony work. I mean, he just sent me 4 or 5 tracks.
Wow.
He got into it. And Dean, when he did the harmony, because he did a lot of harmony throughout the song, he's like, yeah, brother. He goes, yeah, we put some effort into it. I wrote everything out, what I was going to do, because you got a unique way of singing.
Does he really sound like Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
Oh, he does.
When he gets excited. And he gets even more louder. And
yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, brother.
Yeah. So he did. Well, because during that song, I pay homage obviously to Rick and Ron. And at the end, if you go back to Bon Jovi, right? When he tells about, now Bobby is an uptown lawyer, Teddy is a medicine man, and I'm still a singer in a long-haired rock and roll band. When I did, in that song Brothers, I wrote with a bridge, which you know what that is, but for the people that don't, a lot of songs have bridges. Polka doesn't have a bridge, okay? I don't know how else to say it. I've never written songs with bridges. I'm like, I got to go in a different direction and push myself. So I put a bridge into that as well as a Hands of Time, both of those. First time ever.
Yeah.
But when I come out of that and I'm talking about, say, well, now Ron's a royal knight and Rick's got his own business and I'm still making music, whatever. But I mentioned about Ron. So when Dean called me one of the times, he's like, hey, brother, I got to ask you, what's a royal night? What's a royal night? And I told him, he goes, oh, man, I love, you got to tell Ron, I love law enforcement, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's just, you know, that's the kind of guy he is.
High energy.
You know, so then, you know, Rick and I went and saw Guns N' Roses last week, you know, so I texted a photo of him and me outside MetLife to Dean. I said, hey, man, we miss you. You know, we're here for GNR. And he's like, oh, is that Rick or Ron? You know, like he knows the guys. He's just like that. So, but yeah, Derek, what he did, oh my God, I was so happy with the way that was. Because I just like, it's so good.
And Derek plays on how many tracks?
Just brothers.
Just brothers, okay.
Just brothers. Yep. But I mean, the piano, the Hammond, so rich sound. And then that synthesizer blew me away.
No, it sounded great.
I was so excited.
And then how do you get Bonham to play on your album?
I've known Joe a long time. We've been friends a long time. And I remember going to see Joe, and the crowd wasn't very big.
Right.
You know, and he remembers
13, 14 years old.
People that sticks with him. You know, and I've gone to see him, I don't know how many times, quite a few. And Gabe and I went and saw him. We were in Binghamton the last time. And we were talking to him, and I brought it up. You know, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, figure out when it is. And it took a little while. Because, I mean, that's a guy, I mean, he's busy. First off, he tours all the time, right? Then he's in the studio an incredible amount, not only for himself, but for other friends and whatnot.
He's on the recent Alice Cooper album, too.
Oh, he is? Okay. And then he also does, like, he's getting into producing now. You know, he produced this one woman, I think Joanna Connor is her name. I think she's out of Chicago. He did her album, and how that evolved, I guess one time on Twitter or something, he said, how Joanna Connor's not a bigger star than she is beyond me. All of a sudden, her social media lit up just because of that endorsement from him. First thing, then he got around to doing her album, and like one of the songs he did or something, I think she said, or she put it on Instagram or something, like Slash shared something she did. And I think she ended up with like over 100,000 hits on it.
Wow.
You know, because all of a sudden she's in a different league now when you got people like that behind you, you know. So Joe's a busy guy.
Yeah.
So it took some time. And all of a sudden one night he texted me, he said, hey, I'm going to be in the studio doing my XM show or whatever tomorrow. Send me the song, what you're thinking of, what you're kind of, you know, and I'll get it done. I'm like, all right.
And that's the Hands of Time, right?
The Hands of Time, he does that solo in the middle.
Yeah.
Because I thought, well, I go, well, I think I can kind of picture like doing a solo. Because again, that's not a polka. It's not a slow ballad, but it is more of a ballad. And
it's a little bluesy.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, have at it. And I got that back and I heard that. I was like, oh.
Now, does he just send you one track or did he send you multiple?
Yeah. No, he sent me one.
One.
Yeah, I think he did it like in one take.
Probably.
Knowing him, his talent level. He did it down in Ocean Way in Nashville, you know, and it's freaking beautiful. It's like, if there's such a thing as, that's what I envisioned, you know, but when I heard that, I was like, that's perfect. You know, it's like, and then when I heard it back, I could picture him playing it, like one part where he can know, you know, he's bending the string. Oh my God. I was playing it, rewind, playing it, rewind, because I was like, I can't believe it. It's so good. You know, and that's like the perfect match. And the funny thing is, so now Dean and Joe are on the same song, and it's my song.
How cool
you
is
know,
that?
And Dean said, oh, brother, you gotta tell Joe I'll drum for him anytime. I always wanted to drum for him. You know, it's like, and they're on my album. You know what I mean? It's just, I was so tickled. You know, so and grateful doesn't even cover it. You know, because it means so much to me, and especially because those two songs are pretty special. You know, you got the Hands of Time because of the whole story with my dad, and then Brothers because Rick and Ron, we've known each other so long.
You know what it is, too, Fritz? It's a testament of your work ethic. You've been out there for so long doing it and spreading love and just playing and being a road warrior and playing your music and just being a good fucking dude, man.
Well, I
like seriously,
that.
and that's why these guys want to help you out.
I appreciate
and record on your album just because of who you are, Fritz.
I appreciate it. I really do. And it was just, you know, you said about a list, you know, and then you get into somebody else like, a song my dad wrote was Tommy's Lendler. It's more of it's a Swiss tune.
Yeah.
He wrote
Swiss tune?
Swiss, like Switzerland as in Swiss.
Yeah.
Like that.
They have their own genre of music?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know
You
about
listen
the
to, like,
Swedish bikini team.
No, not Swedish. No,
oh,
not
Swiss. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
Not Swede. Got you.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with the Swedish bikini
Yeah,
team.
my head's always in the gutter.
You know. But, so he wrote this song for our guitarist at the time. Tom retired in 2012, but that's who my dad had wrote that song for. And I found it on cassette. I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that song. Geez, we should record that. So we did. And then I was like, man, I asked Ron, Subcat Studio Ron, geez, what my dad did on cassette, you think you could grab some of that and put on that song? Yeah, we can do that. Okay, so now we got my dad on that song, right? However many years since he passed away, right? He's on that.
That's so cool.
Then in my head, I'm thinking, well, my son Freddie started playing accordion last year, and he's still learning to read notes. And he's very, he's new. Okay, so he's, you know, still got a lot of distractions.
How old is he?
7.
Oh,
so
starting him young.
Got a lot more distractions than I did. When I started when I was 6, we didn't have a laptop and all this stuff kids got nowadays, you know.
Right.
But he's working at it. And one thing, he learns something. He learns it pretty darn quick. So in my mind, I was like, how cool would that if I could get Freddie on there? So it'd be me, him, and his grandfather, who he never met.
Wow.
So I'm thinking of an arrangement. Okay, and his little accordion doesn't go to E flat, so he could only play on the first part. So I'm like, I got to think of something he could play, because that's a twisty song. And once you do hear, you'll be like, holy cow, that is twisty. A lot of notes. And I know he can't do that yet. So I wrote an arrangement that it's still structured in B flat. It's like the root chords, right? So he's playing that. I go, play that, work on learning that. So we worked on it. Then I recorded them. I recorded a whole bunch of takes.
At Subcat?
Nope,
No?
in my house.
At your house?
Yeah, call it Fritzofreniac Studios. So it's my house. But anyhow, so he worked at it, and he recorded a bunch of takes. And what he plays, it fits in perfect underneath what me and my dad played.
Wow.
All right? So I'm like, now I'm starting to get excited. Not that I didn't like the song before, but now it's taken on a whole new meaning, because we got my dad and we got Freddie on there. And I had another guest I wanted in my mind. And I asked if he could do it. He was always busy, is Joey Misglen. Joey Misglen, I've been friends with for over 40 years, I guess. And he played accordion with Frank Yankovic for years. But he's a multi-instrumentalist. And he's in the Riders in the Sky, the Nashville outfit.
Okay.
It's like country style.
Yeah.
But I asked Joey about being on it. He goes, absolutely. I told him the story behind it, my dad writing it, you know. He goes, absolutely. So, but he goes, the only thing is, if you can wait until, you know, however far ahead it was, because he had to have surgery and get his shoulder done and everything. He goes, you know, if you can wait, I can do it, but if you need it done sooner, he goes, I can't, because I'm not medically cleared yet. He goes, I can't play and hold the accordion. I'm like, I'll wait. So I'm like, I'll wait. You kidding me? The opportunity to have a guy that's won multiple Grammys on my album, guy that's recorded with U2. He's on Rattle and Hum. He plays the organ on Angel of Harlem.
Wow.
Okay? Recorded with Garth Brooks, Shania Twain, Johnny Cash, and I can go on and on. I'll wait. No problem.
For sure.
You know, no problem. And then he sent me. Oof, blew me away. He's playing a twisty song with harmony. How the guy's like, I was like, I wish I could play accordion like that. You know? My God. And I've seen him play, I don't know how many times. He's played with my band different times. And every time I hear him, whether it's with my band or in another capacity, I'm blown away. It's like, how this guy can make an accordion do what he makes it do? It's like, then you realize these guys are like elite.
Yeah.
They really are. And it's such an honor to be friends with people like that, you know, that are so down to earth. And yeah, I'll be on your recording, sure. So now he's on it. So, and then we structured the song differently. So Ron Keck had an idea. He goes, you know what? He goes, hey, have patience. He goes, I want to run an idea by you. He goes, what if the beginning of the song, it's like you and your dad, and then you bring the band in the next time around, and then after the part goes back in, take them out, and it's just you guys to feature the accordions. I go, let's get Freddie in that mix. Then we'd have us three.
That's amazing.
And then he brought in Joey too, and I can't wait till you can hear it. You'll hear the accordion. It's so freaking beautiful. And when I started to hear like what was almost the final version, I got teared up.
I bet.
That meant so much to me.
Yeah.
It really did. Just the fact that my son's on it, my dad, and all I could think about is my dad could hear this. Oh my God.
I think it's fantastic.
And he was really good friends with Joey too.
Was he?
So the fact that Joey did that and is on it, it means, again, more than I can express.
I think it's fantastic. You're carrying on your dad's legacy.
I'm trying.
You're not trying. You are.
Well, thank you.
You are doing it.
He meant the world to me. And just to divert a little bit, like for me. Like when my dad passed away, you know what? I noticed something. And it affected me in a different way too, because I noticed my demeanor's not sometimes as good as it should be. I don't know. Just something changed in my personality, I think. I mean, I'm still the fun-loving guy. I love to do stuff. I love my friends and stuff. But, it's just a little something that, I don't know, went haywire, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he had a profound impact on me. He really did.
Absolutely.
Playing in the band's one part of it. Then in the van rides is another. You get the stories and the jokes and just the camaraderie, but that time on the stage together and, that's there. And then the music. Again, he wrote so many songs that I still love to play.
How many songs did your dad write? Do you know offhand? The number?
I know between the both of us.
Hundreds, right?
Between him and I, it's over 100 total. Him by himself, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's got to be 30 to 40 maybe.
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing, of course. But I know he wrote a lot.
And how old were you when you joined the band?
We started the band when I was 8.
You were 8.
1978.
Yeah, you were 8 years old.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So we played a lot of gigs together.
Mm-hmm.
And you developed it close together and that bond, and then once that is missing, man, that's a hell of a void. And there's still time stuff gets to me. It does. About him, about my mom. Mm-hmm. It's
and probably
stuff like that. It made a profound impact on my life, and a void. Because I know everybody's like, well, and everybody grieves differently. I get that. And sometimes it's like, well, man, how long can something bother somebody? I don't know. I might be an oddball because there'll be days, Music Fest. Here's a prime example. So, I gotta go all over the place.
This is what happens when we get together.
So Sunday at Music Fest, right? We played Music Fest, largest free festival in the United States. We played there multiple times now, and it's awesome.
Where is this?
Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Gotcha. It's the largest free festival in the United States, non-gated, and we play there on big stage. And we did this song, "I Know I Should," which that's a ballad. That's the first song I wrote after my dad passed away. I think it was like 3 years maybe after he passed away, I'm guessing, that I wrote it. And because it's a ballad, it's about, that's not always the easiest one to sing without getting choked up.
Mm-hmm.
And so we played it at Music Fest, and I had sunglasses on because the lights are bright. And I'm glad I had them on because I was starting to have a little challenge holding it together. A few times I'm biting my lip a little bit, I was like, geez, come on. I got through the song. It went over good, and the people were really listening because we did get good applause for this song. So I was like, yes. And so we go to fast forward now to intermission. And sitting out there by the merch table, people come by, meet you, whatever. And this guy comes up to me, younger guy, younger than me. He's probably, if I had to guess, I'd say he's in his 40s. He comes up to me, and I could tell he'd been crying, because his eyes are still wet and red. He comes up to me, he goes, hey, sticks his hand out. He goes, oh, I want to thank you for playing that song you wrote for your dad. I'm like, oh, thanks. He goes, what's the name of it? I go, I Know I Should. Oh, thank you very much for playing that. I'm like, oh, you're welcome. I go, I got to tell you. And I knew he'd struggled because I could tell. So I tried to lighten the moment if I could. I just, I go, it's not always the easiest to sing, man, And he goes, yeah, I can see why. He goes, well, started crying. Thank you very much.
Wow.
And he walked off, and I'm like, man, I don't know the circumstances, but that song must have hit him in the gut.
Power of music, man.
Yeah. It blew me away for a moment. And somebody else was there, but for a moment, I was just like, wow. You know, and little did he know when I was singing that, man, I was struggling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's a very personal song. It's great. Personal songs are great because they tell such a true story, and nobody can interpret something different because you're pouring your heart out. The counter to that is, man, it can really tear you up if you're a sentimental guy, and that's what I am.
Especially with thousands of people watching, you got to hold it together.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And then doing this album, I'm sure, rehashed a lot of that,
it did.
too.
Yeah, it
I
did.
mean, having your dad on a track or recording your dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of the songs are from the heart.
Yeah, and I used his accordion on almost all the songs.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yep. That's like my favorite accordion to play.
Is it?
Yeah, I just love the sound.
Uh-huh.
You know, plus when I put it through my effects and stuff, I just love the sound of it. But it's a cool tribute to him.
Yeah.
You know, so. But yeah, those songs stick out. And there's other stuff on there, you know. I did a different version of Hey, the one that Todd played on the last album. On this, we put it on this album, but we did the original version. It's just 3 verses. So it's short. It's like 1:56.
Uh-huh.
But instead of what Todd did with electric guitar, I fooled around with the accordion and did some different stuff. So like the last verse through when I'm playing like a solo, I used the wah pedal. Just to be a little different.
Yeah, give it some balls.
Yeah, yeah. Because I like using the wah pedal every now and then.
How many different effects can you run through that accordion?
Well,
do you
quite
run
a few.
Do you run a bunch?
Yeah, I do. I got my pedal board and I run it through the amp.
Okay.
You know, so like I've got my tremolo pedal.
Yeah.
Then I got some other, which would be tremolo, but I got them at different speeds. So if I'm doing a real slow song, like For What It's Worth, I've got my Shaky Jimmy pedal. And I have it turned down to a slower speed to match For What It's Worth.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got a Phase 90, an Eddie Van Halen Phase 90 pedal.
Oh, wow.
That gives a nice, I use that on one verse of Hey.
That gives you a little punch.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
You know, and then I've got one that I use strictly for like when you do a big finish because it's nuts. I forget what it is. It's yellow. I forget the name of it.
The yellow
Whatever
pedal.
it is. Yeah, the yellow one. Then I got my Hendrix pedals.
Mm-hmm.
I like them.
Ah, so you got a big
And
display
then
pedals.
my Slash Crybaby wah pedal.
Yep.
Love that.
Mm-hmm. So you do have quite a selection.
Yeah, and I don't use them on every song.
Right.
You know, but kind of cherry pick what songs I want to use stuff like that on, just add a little flavor to the music.
Do you find other accordion players using pedals too, or are you kind of like
I don't know.
different from the rest?
I don't know.
I've never seen one. Even
don't know.
Dropkick. I don't think the dude from Dropkick
I
uses
don't
pedals
know.
on his accordion.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You know?
I honestly don't know, but it's just me being me, you know. And there's a few times. Sometimes it's trial and error. You're like, well, I really shouldn't do it on that song, you know. Sometimes you experiment and kind of find what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, if I have a chance to be a little different, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to cut loose.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You definitely like to cut loose, my friend.
Yeah, I do.
I'm hanging with Fritz Scherz today. We got a bunch of people checking on the interwebs over here on Facebook. Hi to Michelle McSweeney. She's saying hello to us. Roy Costin saying Fritz is a great guy.
Greetings. Thank you.
Moyer says the song was marinating. It never just sits. The hands of time. So it was
there you
marinating.
go.
There you
Okay.
go. That's a good way to look at it. Hi to May Wilcox. Thank you so much for checking in. Hi to Helen Tenuta over in Chicago and Bruce Cornell. Thank you guys so much. My mom's checking in. Shout out to Mark Streeter. Streeter's rocking out with us on Twitch right now. Thank you, buddy.
Nice.
And got to give it up to the Motorlord boys, too. They're always checking in all the time. You got to check out
Very
that album.
cool. Okay.
Motorlord. They're awesome. You would love it. It's right up your alley.
Okay.
What I want to talk to you about is what a travesty it is that Joe Bonamassa doesn't have a street named after him in Utica or a statue or a school. And I talk about this all the time, but since he plays on your new album that's coming out really, really soon, I think we need to talk about this. We need to address this. He needs to have like a whole weekend dedicated to the guy, like with a performance at the Stanley. Like I'm coming up with all these ideas. Like there needs to be some sort of dedication to the guy.
I agree.
Because he's a hometown guy dude, that's done great things, and it's just a travesty to me. It is.
I was trying to encourage the Syracuse Music Hall of Fame to induct him because, you know, he should be in there.
Because he's Joe freaking Bonamassa.
You know, how many – and here's the other thing, too, sometimes. Yes, all the stuff you said's true, right? Now all of a sudden his credentials. Over 20 number one blues albums?
Right.
How many other people have done that?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know that stuff. I'm just in awe of that.
Yeah.
Over 20 number one blues albums.
Right. And how many Grammys does he have? He has a couple, doesn't he?
He's been nominated, but I don't think he's won any.
Oh, he hasn't won any?
And that's a crock.
Right.
It really is. And that's not a slight to anybody. That's not a slight to anybody that won.
Yeah.
But it's just, you listen to what he's putting out there.
Right. The Grammys are a crock to begin with.
Well, I know there's Jethro Tull fans out there, but you don't beat Metallica for a metal album.
Right.
Totally. Sorry.
Anyways, there really should be some sort of dedication to the guy. I feel like Utica shunned the guy. And last time he played in Utica was at the brewery in like 06 or 07 or something like that.
That long ago?
It was a while ago, and only like 600 people showed up.
Wow.
Why? How come?
Wow.
It's that mentality. It's like, oh, well, he's doing better than I am, so I'm not going to go support it. That sometimes could be the essential New York attitude.
I've seen him so many times, and every time, it's like you see him, it's like, wow. Just when you think, wow, I don't think he can get any better. You hear him again, you're like, wow. And it's just.
I think he sleeps with his guitar.
You watch the stuff he does online. He's
all the
got
time.
A presence and how he does. You're wondering, oh my God, the sound he gets out of it. And again, once you got certain talent, it's like they could take almost anything and make it sound great.
Seriously.
I mean, the talent level. I like your idea. There should be a street named after him. Nice dedication.
Some statue.
Some hometown thing.
There should be something.
It's a big deal. Hey, Cortland's got Dio away.
Yeah, Dio's got a whole weekend dedicated to him.
I know.
They do Dio weekend every week, every year.
Well, Ron, that guy that gets behind all that stuff, who was friends with him, there's a big to-do with all that.
Yeah, you get some of his old bandmates to come up.
Dio.
Yeah.
That was another guy. I wish I could have seen him.
Oh, I was lucky to see him once.
I missed, you go back to the talent level of him. When he used to play at Where the Action Is in Rome, when he did the other music, they wore the velvet jackets.
Elf, when he was an elf.
There's a guy that could do any style. Yeah, he's known for his metal, but go back in time when he was starting out, what he did. My God.
He was doing a lot of R&B back in the day.
Killer talent.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah. And he was the one that came up with the heavy metal, which is pretty much the Italian Maloiki.
Well,
good
thing Gene Simmons didn't copyright it or trademark it.
Gene Simmons. But seriously, though, Bonamassa should have some sort of dedication to him in Utica.
He deserves it.
Yeah, he does.
It's not like he was an overnight success. He put in time and effort.
Much work.
You go look at the tour dates the guy did every year.
Play almost 300 shows a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Go all over the place and And if you watch one of the DVDs he has, they said one of the turning points is when he played over in, it was in England. I can't think of the name.
Royal Albert Hall.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The first time.
Yeah.
And Clapton
came out.
And then things kind of started trending upward.
Yeah.
And at the time they said, him and his manager, well, we're going to take a risk. But, man, it's great they did.
Yeah, for sure.
Holy cow, what a vision.
And that kind of led him into all the other great things that he's doing, too. The album with Beth Hart, have you heard that one?
I haven't heard the full album.
Oh, my God, it's amazing.
But I heard the two on one of his New York concerts. She was a special guest on 2 songs. Oh, my God.
Powerful.
That was awesome. That's the same album that John Hyatt's on. Yeah.
I got to check that out.
Oh, I love it.
He's always putting out albums, too.
Yeah.
Every year, Bonamassa's putting out something, whether it's a live album or a studio album. He's doing something.
Yeah, he is.
And then back to that Black Country community. That's some of the best hard rocking stuff you'll ever hear.
I love it.
And what a lineup, too. Glenn Hughes, Jason Bonham, Joe Bonamassa, Derek Sherinian. And who plays? Oh, Glenn Hughes, plays bass.
Glenn plays bass.
Plays bass and sings. It's
it's awesome. It's awesome.
You can't get more badass than that.
I know. It's great. It's great stuff.
If you were to form your own fantasy band, what would your fantasy band be?
Oh God.
It could be. You know what? Let's categorize this as people that are living today.
People that are living today.
Yeah.
Well, this would be like one of those Allman Brothers size outfits, probably, because
right.
I would want at least. I'd have to have 2 drummers, right? So I'm going to have Brent Fitz from Slash's band.
Okay.
And Dean. He's going to have to drum and sing back up. He's going to have to sing harmony, too. All right, so he's stuck doing double duty. So you got both those drummers.
Okay.
Bass, Todd Kearns / his band. Then now we're gonna get really crazy. Get Slash on guitar, Neil Sean on guitar, Joe Bonham on guitar.
Wow.
All right, that's pretty potent.
Yeah.
I'll handle the accordion. That's okay.
All right.
And shoot, man, who else? I don't know if you want Derek on keyboards. That'd be pretty heavy outfit.
They're huge. It'd be the.
I'd be the guy just kind of just happy I'm surrounded by those guys.
It's an orchestra.
'Cause that'd be nuts.
Yeah.
That's why, like I said, that's a good question.
You'll think about this later too, and be like, "Wait, you know what?" You'll text me and be like, "I got somebody else." And
yeah. Throw Justin Smithson in there too.
Never heard of him. Who was that?
Throw him in there. We had some fun.
He told me he had a lot of fun with you guys.
Filling in a couple gigs with us. And there's another guy that's got crazy talent.
Oh, crazy talent. I always say that Showtime is the best harmonizing band in Central New York.
They do great.
And then you look at each member of that band, and they are absolutely amazing musicians too.
Yeah, they sure are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we had fun. It was fun he played a couple gigs there, and that was, gosh, we had a great time. We really did. But so yeah, I'm anxious to get this CD out.
You got a lot of dates here. As I'm looking through your tour, I mean, you're jam packed, man.
We got a lot of stuff. We had some cancellations. I just got, last week I had 3 cancellations. Well, 3 dates canceled, 2 different places. One of them was a double, but Bear Mountain Oktoberfest. We were supposed to play there Columbus Day. They canceled it, and then down in Oyster Bay, we were going to play this 2-day Oktoberfest. We've done multiple times. It's great. Awesome. We go over big down there, and we get to do the whole gamut. We can do Hey Joe down there. We can play Watchtower, Rockin' in the Free World, my kind of gigs, and still do, Beer Barrel Polka and Heaven There Is No Beer if somebody wants something traditional. So you can do the whole gamut. And those are my favorite gigs because I like to cut loose, and so we lost that. I did just rebook the 16th of October. So at least I filled one of the dates that got canceled, thankfully. But, yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up there, a lot of new stuff. Like, our August this year is busier than normal.
You're packed, man.
It's
I'm looking
busier,
at your dates.
But
like,
September, every weekend's booked. Except I do have September 17th, the Friday night still open because we had a cancellation. But, the 18th, we're going to be in Connecticut in the day, and then at night in Long Island, and Sunday in Long Island. Then you get October 2nd. I don't know what it was with October 2nd this year. We got 2 gigs. One, we start the morning in Thousand Islands, and then at night at Vernon Downs.
Wow.
So that day's booked. But I turned down more gigs for that date. I had to turn down a gig in Virginia, turned down a gig in Maryland, New Jersey, Long Island, and Boston. 5 different places. I go, well, I can't do that, but I could do this. And, they got their date picked already.
Popular day.
It is. And that's the thing with Oktoberfest. You have the limited number of weekends, and, they fill up relatively quick. But we're going to do another residency in Nashville.
You're taking the words right out of my mouth. You're going back down to Nashville at the end of October, which is cool.
That is so fun. And the first time we went there, we did the residency, and it went over good. We had a lot of fun. We got to go, with the Johnny Cash Museum, which was awesome, and go walk around, check out different things. And then we were going to go there last year, and then it fell apart. But then we got asked to go back this year, and I'm excited.
Awesome.
Because it's like, and the first time we went down there, after I got back and talked to some musician buddies, and one of the guys is like, "You got paid to go down there?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" "Do you know how many people go down there from Central New York and they do it for free because they hope to get seen?" I'm like,
"Yep."
"Really?"
It's such a thing.
He goes, "Oh, they're waiting to get seen. They go to the Bluebird and blah, 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 blah. And they play for..." I'm not trying to get seen or signed to nothing. I'm just trying to be me and make my music and share it with somebody while we're on stage. Hopefully we take your mind off the real world. That's what I got up here. That's what we want to do. Don't get me wrong. I want people to come out. I want them to have a good time and enjoy it and want to see us again or buy a shirt or something. But there's not a lot of pressure. and I can see if somebody's hoping to get signed, they're going to do things trying, and I've had friends go down there and come back.
It's very cutthroat.
It is. And the thing is, there's a ton of musicians. That's the thing. There's a ton of buddies that I got that are down there. Some of them are playing in multiple bands. They're doing recording sessions. They go out and do some work on the road. But I was excited. We got asked to come back down there again.
It's awesome.
And and the other thing that was tough this year.
What's that?
We got asked to do a month residency in Vegas.
Oh, wow.
A month.
Where?
Hofbrauhaus.
Interesting.
Had to turn it down.
You did.
And because we were already under contract. We had by that time probably 9 or 10 gigs booked.
Ah, bummer.
I was like, I can't do that. I could do, and I think I offered the 20th to the 31st because that was before we got the Nashville residency. I said I could do that if you could get another band or two to do the first 19 days, we'll do the last 11. They really want one band.
Maybe next year.
It's like, man. Even the guy, when he called me, he goes, well, you're probably already booked. But I'm like, yeah, I already am. I already had a ton of gigs at that point. It's like, man. It's like, who would ever thought, I know I didn't, somebody would be asking me about having my band do a residency in Vegas.
Perfect. Why not?
And then he told me the money. I was like, oh, my God.
Cancel all the gigs.
I'm not going to do that. But I was flattered. I'm like, if nothing else, hey, at least.
Maybe next year. At least they were thinking of you, right?
That's the thing. I was come out of left field. I was totally shocked by it.
Yeah.
But I was excited. I'm excited. I'm an excited guy. I'm still making music. This is our 40th, some plus year, 40, I don't know. We started in 78.
There you go.
October 78.
Do the math.
Right. You know what I mean? So I've been doing it a long time.
Yes, you have.
Lucky to be able to do that and hopefully keep doing it and make more music. Can't wait till the CD comes out, man.
Do you have a date on when the CD's coming out?
Nah, not officially, no. We're going through the editing for the artwork right now.
Okay.
It should be relatively soon. If not, then I hope to at least have some of it, out maybe in a few weeks. And then maybe officially the whole thing, I have everything out by October 1st or something. I don't know.
Will
you do
a release party or something, or a big old party?
I don't know.
You got to, Fritz. You got to do a big party and celebrate. There's a lot of work you put into this.
Yeah, it is. But the thing is, a lot of people download. We're going to do all the whole thing so people can download and do all that. Because realistically, people don't buy many CDs from us anymore.
It's true.
I'm a laggard. I still want a CD. I want the artwork. I want to read about who did what and everything. Do I know anybody that's in the credits? A lot of people just want to go online, they download a song, and that's fine too, whatever works. So we put it out on different platforms because of that. So, and also, the CD's going to have one cover, Watchtower.
Beautiful. You have to. I feel like that's your signature cover.
That's the ending song.
That's your signature cover.
Yeah, I think so.
It really is.
It's fun to play.
And I had a lot of hits on YouTube.
So, and the guys play really, Mike, because Mike was still drumming on that album. So the songs, Gabe went nuts. I can't wait for people to hear it, especially the ones that are like, that's just a polka band.
Mark Streeter saying you paid your dues and rock on. Thank you, Streeter, for checking us out on Twitch.
Man.
If you could follow us along on Twitch, we're pretty much on all the social media platforms. Where can they find you on social media, Fritz? Especially when this album comes out, they're going to be looking to purchase it.
Fritz'sPolkaBand.com, and I'll have links on there to different platforms as far as downloads and stuff like that goes. But we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, Instagram, and it'll be on YouTube. You can get some of the other albums I did on YouTube. Still go on there and check stuff out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great hang, man.
Appreciate it,
Best of luck with the CD.
Appreciate it.
Super proud of you. Keep going. Keep doing it.
Man.
You won't stop till you drop. You're that kind of guy.
Appreciate it. Got to get you out to the Oktoberfest. We do have some local Oktoberfest stuff coming in September.
One of these days. Yeah, maybe.
Copper City Brewing Company.
When's that? When's that Copper City show? I'm looking at it.
Friday, September 10th.
Friday, September 10th. Copper City.
Then the next day, we're in Hamilton at the brewery down there.
Good Nature. Great spot.
And then Woodland that Sunday. So that'd be a triple 3-gig weekend locally for Oktoberfest.
Wow.
Excited.
Yeah, there's a lot of beer drinking going on. Hey, when there's polka, there's beer.
Yeah.
Right? Is that how it goes? They kind of go hand in hand.
I think so.
Thanks for coming in, brother.
Appreciate it.
It's great to see you. Great hang today.
Appreciate it.
Also, big shout out to EJA Moving Services, Joey's at 307. That's 307 Mohawk Street, Utica Coffee. My attorney, Dave Longaretta, Saranac Brewery, Ballsy.com. Go to Ballsy.com and enter in promo code members only for a 15% discount on all men hygiene products. And also, big shout out to Billy the Liquor Guy. Under Too Long is his new book out. You can check it out on Amazon. It's a book about undercover agents and infiltrating like biker gangs and Al-Qaeda. And the story's unbelievable. If you get a chance, check it out. Under Too Long by Billy the Liquor Guy. And tomorrow we'll be back with the Uncle Louie Variety Show coming up around, I don't know, it's like 7 o'clock. I think we're doing it. And then we're doing the podcast as well. So thank you so much. And if you are on Facebook, please do us a favor and click the share button. Have a good day. Later.